The Plumbing Marketing Profits Podcast. Interviews with million-dollar-plus plumbing and HVAC business owners on how they market and grow their companies in today's economy. Hear directly from the most successful leaders in your business and discover what they are doing to keep their phone ringing, trucks running, and businesses booming. With your host, Josh Nelson.
All right, well, thank you for joining us on this episode of the Plumbing and HVAC Marketing Podcast. Today we have the opportunity to interview Lawrence Snow from Valley Plumbing, Towers, and Seawoods. Amazing story how he went from running a very, very, very successful plumbing company in the Las Vegas market, sold, went into consulting for several years, was a well-known consultant with QSC, and a couple years back decided he was going to jump back in, start his own company, and has grown it from one-man operation with him and his son to now over 18 trucks and growing on a very consistent basis in the Salt Lake City market, and has also grown through acquisition in Texas as well. So, on this interview, he shares some great insights on how he's made that a reality, how he keeps his phone ringing, how he keeps the trucks running, and how he keeps his business booming. Check it out.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Allison, and I'm here with Lawrence Snow, the owner of Valley Plumbing and Drain Cleaning, Towers Plumbing, and Seawoods Company down in Texas, as well as in Utah County. And so, Lawrence, can you introduce yourself with us today?
Hi, everyone. I'm Lawrence Snow. And again, like Allison said, we own 3 different plumbing and air conditioning companies.
Awesome. And so, Lawrence, I just wanted to thank you for joining us today. I have a couple questions for you. I'm sure a lot of people will benefit from that. And so I just wanted to maybe dive in briefly. Can you tell us how you started first Valley and then how you acquired Seawoods, and then after that you acquired Towers?
I was in the consulting business. I sold my business in Las Vegas, and it was I was tired of traveling and needed to kind of settle down a little bit. So we had the opportunity to, with my son Robbie and a niece's husband that has a marketing degree, and he works for us again now. We just had the opportunity to start a plumbing business, and we did. And then after about 7 years from my consulting days, I was working with a company in Tyler, Texas called Seawoods Company. And the owners were going to retire, and had a great opportunity. My son, my oldest son, who's a CPA and who works for us as well, was their CPA for them. And they came to him and said, "Hey, we want to sell," and they came to me to help them get their business sold. And I saw a good opportunity down there, and I had a gentleman that used to work with me in our company in Las Vegas is our manager over there. And then they're a 65-year-old company. And then we had the opportunity just right after that, about 3 months after that, to purchase Towers Plumbing, which is a company here in Salt Lake as well. Actually, we were part of a competition with us. Not a whole lot. They had a very isolated market. And they're a 75-year-old company, and Jim and Jerry were looking to retire, and we came together with terms, and here we are.
Amazing. And so I oversee all 3 companies, and they're all very different. But the cool part about Towers and Valley is because they are in the same market, we honestly get a majority of everyone looking. I'm not sure, if we have much competition even in the market, because Valley has such a strong presence, and then now Towers taking that market over, we're able to cover the entire area. And so I guess that was a very, very good business move on your end, and I'm sure it's paying off as you see on your return on investment with that purchase.
It's been very successful. There's always those challenges, and we have fun with those challenges, and we move forward. When you look at the challenges with Towers Plumbing, it was a 75-year-old company, a by-the-hour company, and there's nothing wrong with a by-the-hour company, but very inexpensive by the hour. And we had the opportunity to get them. They didn't have uniforms. We got uniforms. We replaced their trucks, rebranded them. They had a website, but it was not maintained. And since then, you guys have taken it over, and like you said, it's a powerhouse at this point.
Yeah, and it's starting to really boom. So definitely a great purchase there. And so with your second or your second business down in Texas, how is the travel or the commute? Do you spend a lot of time down there, or do you just have a dedicated staff that you're on the phone with more often, or do you make the time to come and see them?
We talk at least weekly and sometimes several times a week to the management down there and different people, different leadership people. And I mean, I call technicians, call our salespeople down there, but I actually visit down there 4, 5, 6 times a year.
Amazing. Okay, well, just so that everybody has kind of an understanding, how many trucks do you run over at Valley?
With Valley and Towers are now together, and we run 18 plumbing service trucks. We have 3 excavation crews, which are 3 people on a crew.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, again, combined with Valley and Towers together.
Perfect. And then over at Seawoods?
Seawoods, we have excavation. I'm sorry, we have air conditioning as well as plumbing there. On the plumbing side, we run 5 trucks. On the air conditioning side, we run 2 install crews, and we have I believe it's 6 air conditioning techs and 1 sales guy.
Amazing. And so, how about anybody who may own a plumbing company right now and is looking to expand into the HVAC industry? Was that a challenge for you to learn or to manage on your end?
I hate air conditioning. Let's just start off with that. It's kind of funny because in Las Vegas we bought an air conditioning company as well, and they came to work for us after we bought the company. We moved them into our facility,
Mm-hmm.
and they had no business. It was springtime. It was March in Las Vegas. It's beautiful weather, and the owner guaranteed them a full 40-hour week if they'd show up to work. So these guys came, brought their board games, and drove me absolutely crazy. So our challenge is to, I mean, air conditioning can be made very successful. Service agreements are the key. Salespeople are key as well. In Texas, we have a few thousand service agreements. So it works out real well. Our guys keep busy year round. Spring and fall, it's not real profitable, but it keeps our guys busy. We sell some systems in those times, getting ready for either the winter or the fall, winter or the summer weather. So if you want to get into the air conditioning business, you got to have service agreements and lots of them.
Perfect. And so then getting into the marketing of their businesses, I work closely with Chad. We oversee, the entire account. And so can you kind of speak to how important it is to have someone that you trust in the office overseeing all of your marketing? I know that, as an owner of even one business, it can get very overwhelming. So how important would you say that would be?
Well, Chad's my niece's husband. Worked for us when we first started our business. Moved to California to be with family, and then he's back now with us. And with a marketing degree, very, very. I mean, you can say that, Allison. He's
very
on top.
Knowledgeable. Yes, he's on top of everything.
Sometimes it's nauseating, the stuff that he gets into, but it's things that they get into, they understand, and it works extremely well for them. But it's not something I know. So if I don't know it, why do I need to manage it? And you could tell me whatever you want to tell me, and I'd understand. I wouldn't understand it, but I'd probably believe it. But then Chad goes one more level and gets into the nitty-gritty details. We can tell you by zip code where people are coming from, which technician can sell a water heater versus a toilet. Mm-hmm. You kind of get the idea. And we know who to send where. And it's just with somebody with that marketing expertise at our size, you've got to have somebody 100% into it all the time. And that person could also be a sales manager for you as well, and a trainer.
Definitely. Working closely with Chad, he definitely knows what he's talking about. He brings reports to me that helps us then in return, situate our marketing or our PPC efforts, especially to target those specific zip codes that are doing better this year than they were 5 years ago. So he's really, really, really knowledgeable, and I love working with him. So yes, that's definitely a good person to have, even if, again, like you said, a marketing person or someone in the staff helping you with those marketing avenues. So quick question for you. Besides internet marketing, we talked about your branding, you have your uniforms, you have your trucks. What other efforts are you currently doing to get your three names out there so that everybody understands who you are and they know to call you when they have something?
It's interesting in the marketing when you talk about the difference between the Utah market and the Texas market. You have to market them different. We're big in television in Texas. Don't touch it up here. We used to do a lot of radio down in Texas. We stopped that down there recently, but we did a little radio up here. Didn't see a spike in anything. We are doing quite a bit of direct mail down in Texas. Don't do it up here as much. We get a pretty good bang for our buck down there with direct mail. So, I mean, the internet marketing is really what put Valley Plumbing on the map. Right. Back then, as the yellow pages were phasing out, we came in and said, no yellow pages, 100% digital. It paid off big time for us.
Yes.
And when we look at the tower side of things, who did virtually no advertising, we basically had to start over with a digital footprint because yellow pages, of course, wasn't there. Now, they still were in the yellow pages, but that was obviously a real fun one. So,
yes.
But go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I mean, with towers, the challenge was that the clientele was an older clientele and they don't necessarily use the internet to call you. So you had a lot of returning customers that understood the name because they had the phone number, maybe from a leave behind from the previous owner. But our challenge with towers was to try to give them a digital footprint, give them a name on the internet. So that was a challenge, but it's been 1.5 years now at this point. And so we've seen some great success there. And with Valley, you've been with us for so long, it's just dominating the area. So, I mean, it's very exciting working, on the internet end of things with towers and with Valley. But down in Texas, I mean, you're right. I work with Chad and he tells me your TV is doing well down there. There are other avenues of marketing. And then, of course, with HVAC being one of your services, it's a complete different animal.
It is. And again, it's kind of interesting when you go back to towers. We have to market towers two different ways. The new customer, who's a digital customer, mm-hmm. Old customer, which is a print customer.
Yes.
So it's working. We're transitioning those people over to digital customers, but it's slow. It's happening slowly.
Yeah, it's a slow increase, but I mean, it's definitely giving you a wider perspective in the area. So that's exciting. And so can you now speak to the different training opportunities that you've been a part of? Or, you had mentioned that you've been a consultant in the past. So I know that you know what you're doing in your company, but have you also brought in outside perspective to help you?
Yes, we are a current member of the Quality Service Contractors, which is part of the National PHCC. Okay. We use their training programs. We use their coaches. And you say, well, why do you bring a coach in? That's what you used to do for a living. Well, because your sons never listened to you, and your technicians never listen to the boss. So you bring some outside people in for a third party perspective, and it's been a powerhouse for us. They've done a great job. They're able to come here, do what we need to have done. We do a lot of outside training. We bring, again, a lot of outside people in, not just with the QSC, but other people, bring them in, do videos. We do all kinds of different types of training for our people. We know that if we don't train, they don't progress.
It's true.
And we spend a lot of money in training for our office staff as well as our field staff.
Definitely. And you mentioned you have 18 trucks and 3 excavation crews. So where were you when you first started? Was it one truck?
We have one truck. Yep. And wow. It's funny. You kind of get the idea of how digital works. We just throw it through digital after we hired Chad a month before we started our business. And our first month, we did almost 19,000 in sales, which for a first month in business on the digital side of things, it worked out very well.
Definitely. I mean, and now that number is way over that. But It's crazy how the internet can just bring that revenue in. And so you've been with us for several years now. Is there anything that you can tell a business owner who may be on the fence with releasing their digital efforts to a company like ourselves?
My experience from my coaching experience and the consulting experience is anybody can do digital marketing, period. Anybody can. I could do it. Probably wouldn't be a very good job, but I probably could get there reading enough books.
Right.
But you need to find somebody that's good in the industry, that's has the industry experience, knows what keywords to do, knows the demographics of who we work with, why the people are working with us. Mm-hmm. I've seen other SEO companies, digital companies out there that just plain throw stuff out there and see what sticks, but then they don't change it. It's a one-hit wonder, and I just want to make sure that our customers see us consistently through every medium we have out there. Our look and feel is the same, and that's key. If they look at every different piece of the puzzle, if it's different, then you have 5 different companies instead of one different company, or one company that's the same. Mm-hmm. So that's why going with companies like Plumbing HVAC SEO, you've seen them do it with other companies. You can call those other companies, ask questions. Feel free to give me a call and ask me any questions you want. That's what I do for a living, or used to do for a living. Still do a little bit of it. But it helps us move forward. It helps them move forward. It helps you move us forward as well.
Definitely.
Giving you feedback.
Thank you. And so, I mean, I definitely agree. I mean, we understand the market. And then on top of that, every market is different. I mean, like we said, even within the same market, your companies are different. So we are after a different demographic than we are, with towers than we are with Valley. So it's very important to understand the company, and also understand its strengths and weaknesses, its demographics, and then again, the market, the people who are living and calling you. So definitely an important partnership between us and you guys. And so thank you for allowing us to take part in such a big portion of the success of your company.
It's really fun watching how you guys do this, because we have 2 companies that are side by side competing with each other, but you don't see them on the same, if you don't see them on the same search a lot of times. I mean, you do on an organic search, but on a pay-per-click search, you don't as much.
Right. And that's because we know that Valley has that big excavation branding. And so we're really heavy with excavation for Valley. And then for towers, we're picking up all of those other searches for the smaller jobs, or even some bigger ticket items, but not so much on the excavation like we do for Valley. And so that's how we're able to battle without driving your cost up.
I'm glad it's you guys doing that, not me. I just sit and watch it happen.
Definitely. So, I mean, it's always been a pleasure working with you. Thank you again for jumping on with us. And so I have one last question. Is there any golden nugget that you want to give to anybody who may be listening?
One of the biggest keys to success, it was an entrepreneur class I went to years ago. There's 3 business keys to success. One is share the wealth, which is bonus programs. Another one was make accounting top priority. And the last one is hire people more knowledgeable than yourselves. I'm not a marketing person. I don't want to be a marketing person. And at the end of the day, that's what you guys are for. So hire people more knowledgeable than yourself. Let them do the work. Stay the heck out of it. And sorry about that. That's Robbie. Stay the heck out of it and let them do their job.
Definitely. Thank you so much for jumping on with us, Lawrence. It's been a pleasure working with your accounts. It's a pleasure having you as a client of ours. And I look forward to our continuous relationship and communication.
Thank you.
Well, I hope you got amazing value from that interview. If you'd like more ideas, strategies, and techniques on how to more effectively market your plumbing, HVAC, or home services business online, go to plumbingmarketing.net. There you'll find interviews just like this and the opportunity to schedule a time with us to just kind of talk about your business and how we can help you implement similar strategies in your business. So plumbingmarketing.net, head over there now, and I'll talk to you soon.